can you introduce yourself to us?
Thank you. Good afternoon. My name is Wycliffe Ongori. I am a hockey coach. I've been a hockey player. I'm a hockey umpire. And outside hockey, I'm a family man married with 2 children. And for daily life, I work in one of the largest banks in this country, and I work in the risk division. I have been in hockey for the last, I think, 39 years. I started playing hockey in 1983. That's the first time I held my hockey stick. I went to normal schools, Jamhuri High School, for those who know Jamhuri then. I went to the University of Nairobi, graduated, and then I joined Wazalendo Hockey Club. In Wazalendo I was a forward. I grew up within the club, and when I retired at 39, I went into hockey coaching and umpiring. I am an FIH level 3 certified coach, and I have coached Wazalendo up to 2 years ago. I was the head coach before Fidelis Kimanzi took over, and that is what I'm doing at this. Currently, I'm the advisor to the coaching team at Wazalendo.
Tell us how this COVID-19 pandemic has affected you.
Corona has really impacted us in various ways. Let's start from our daily lives. We have to put on masks. The other thing is our employment, where we normally get our daily lives from. We've been forced to work from home, and for a long time to come, because a couple of our colleagues have found themselves infected with corona. To the hockey field, or to matters hockey, we have had to push away or to move our league until the Ministry of Sports allows us to play hockey. That is how much we've been impacted. So there's no hockey activities going on. However, I'm aware that teams are training, and Wazalendo is split ourselves into very many teams, and we are training in various centers.
Please tell us about the objectives of the Wazalendo Hockey Club once it gets to the tournament.
Thank you. Wazalendo Hockey Club is the largest club in this country at this point in time, and our objectives for the championships in Malawi, Blantyre, is to finish in the top 4. We want to underpin that by using the youth development program that we have, where we'll be getting in players right from the primary school. We tutor them, we transform them into players who will play at the top level, which is basically the national team and the club continental club championships. We want to emulate Shakia club, which won 16 championships, except the time that they were interrupted by Kenya's armed forces. We want to be regular participants. And for this one, like I said, if we can qualify for the quarterfinal, we'll have achieved something, because we intend to participate in this tournament for the longest time to come.
Take us through the process of preparing a team for an international tournament, say at continental level. This is the optimal preparation duration, tools and equipment necessary for preparation, the human resources needed to assist in team preparation, and anything else you'd like to include.
If you're going for an international tournament, you need to realize, you need to know from the onset what you're going for. We are going for club championships, which is slightly above the Premier League and slightly below the international tournament, because it's a club tournament. But most of the players you're going to meet there are national team players. That's a given. So what do? You need to decide exactly what you're going for, and you need to plan your training schedule. You need to plan for the kit that you're going to use and the equipment and anything else that you need to get yourself in that tournament and give a good account of yourself. So what else do you need? You need to have a plan clearly spelled out of what you're going to do and when. And critically, you need to pick your players who are willing to take instructions, players who are disciplined, and players who are focused. So you need to have your objective of how you're going to select your players. Then, of course, you'll come down to how are you going to get the kit, how are you going to get your training material, how are you going to get your training balls, how are you going to get your training equipment, so that your training is not interrupted. Critically, remember, there is the drug menace coming into sport at this point in time. So it's important for your team management to quickly have a sight of what your players are taking. A player could be taking some drug for probably flu or something. Which drug can stay in the body to a point where if this player is taken for test during the tournament, which can be 3-4 months down the road, it's still found, and then your player will be inconvenienced and your team will be inconvenienced. It is also critical that you select players who are going to give you value for today and tomorrow. So you might have a team full of seniors, but with a bit of juniors for continuity's sake. Because like we said, we want to go for this tournament in the long haul, not just this tournament only.
We have seen many Kenyan clubs, especially the men, who have qualified for these championships, and they give us not so pleasing results. So what will you attribute to the type of performances that they bring back once they go for the continental and any other type of championship?
Okay, thank you. I've had the opportunity of attending one club intercontinental club championships in 2011 in Zambia. I went in as an umpire, but because of my interest in the sport, I also used my skills to learn a few things around the tournament. I'll tell you, other teams take that tournament seriously. Ghanaians take it very seriously, Egyptians take it very seriously. Unfortunately, the same cannot be said about Kenya. And why is the same? Why can the same be said about Kenya? Because our clubs lack sponsorship. I'll give you an example of Telkom Kenya, the immediate past ladies continental champions. The reason why they were doing so well is because their sponsor then, Telkom, was able to take care of off-the-pitch issues, and they will concentrate on the pitch issues. Most clubs in Kenya today, if you look at them, about 60% are self-help clubs. So as they are preparing for the continental championships, they are also busy struggling with the logistics of how to get themselves to that tournament. It's not easy. We need to have early preparations. We need to have a set team which is very clear that your role is to look for finances, your role is to kit the team, your role is to enable the players to be at the pitch at the right time, and then we leave the coaches to do their job. That is what we've tried to do at Wazalendo. If we put early preparations in place, trust me, our performance will go up.
As you team up with the other coaches at the Wazalendo, what would you say is your major need right now?
First thing that we'll want sorted out are the ticket issue, because without the tickets then you're not traveling. Of course, with tickets there's accommodation which is required and meals. So if we knock that one off, the next thing that we'll require is the training material. Yeah, that is the shoes, the sticks, availability of pitch, because we're not going to play on Maram, and most of us are currently training on Maram. So we hope we can negotiate with the union and we get the pitch for probably the last month of training. The other important kit issue is about kit, which is basically uniform, shoes and sticks, the goalkeeper's pads. And you know now with COVID, interchanging kit is not practically possible. And of course, we need equipment, yeah, and a few other things that can get us going. If we can get those 3, 4, 5 things done, we'll be in a position to go ahead.
I want to know, what is the Wazalendo's main objective when you go to participate into this competition?
Wow, nice, thanks. Good question. First, we want to give a good account of ourselves as Wazalendo. We are a huge club. We are the only club which has 3 teams, now going to have a 4th one in the Masters League. So really, we are the trailblazers. Secondly, we want to go and stamp our performance in such a way that we will always be going for this tournament. And that is why I told you about the Young Players Development Program. We are so strategic in our thought, we are so strategic in the way we are thinking, that we want to be attending this tournament like Accc, which has won the tournament 16 times. The only time they didn't win is when Armed Forces of Kenya interrupted their win. That is what we are going for. But for this time, because we are going for the first time since 2007, when we went to Egypt, and unfortunately we got there late, what we are intending to do is to struggle and put ourselves within the top 4. If we get ourselves to the semi-finals of the tournament, it will be a great leap for us. Critically, we also want our players to be in sync with what we are doing. We just want them to focus, train, and we believe with the 6 coaches that we have, we will give them all the support they need to get the top 4.